And so we've got a spreadsheet that we utilize with all of our clients this time of year, every year, to plan out 2022. And the one I want to talk through in this section on the financial piece is there's a section on there to update your fixed cost. And if this is something you haven't done before or aren't aware of, it's a great exercise to go through and understand how much do you spend every month on subscriptions, reoccurring charges, your insurance, your payroll service, your accounting service, everything that's a monthly occurrence, right? Phone, internet, there's a handful of categories on there. I recommend go through your profit and loss from 2021 and just identify all the recurring charges and put in there, because it's really good to know, oh my gosh, we spend maybe the number's $5,000 a month just on recurring fixed cost services and things for our business. That's kind of a good number to know as you're planning out the year, and we're going to kind of work the numbers backwards here in this financial section. The other thing is, update your annual costs, things that happen every year, such as, an LLC renewal. It can be something in your state. Buying your PCA Expo tickets, you include that in there and the costs associated with traveling on that. Anything that's an annual cost, I recommend to put in there to just kind of have an idea that at some point, put what month you're going to spend it so you can kind of plan ahead, cash flow on that. And then the other thing is you want to input, how much money you're withholding for taxes. Like I mentioned earlier, if you're doing 10%, anything that's shaded in gray on this worksheet is where you can input things or change numbers and stuff. Everything that's got a white background, leave it because it's auto-formulated for you, but anything that's in gray is your place to input numbers. And everything does kind of transfer over throughout the 3 different tabs. So put in, how much you withhold for taxes, put in what your average labor margin is, put in your average material margin on jobs. So if you usually spend, for my contractor friends, 10% on materials on your projects is kind of your average, put that number in here. And what it's going to do is it's going to auto calculate out, okay, it's going to take your fixed costs, it's going to factor in your margins and how much you want to take out of the company. And then it's going to say, hey, here's how much you need to do every month in business to make sure that you break even. And I know this is kind of detailed as I'm going through this. And again, those of you guys listening on audio, pull up the spreadsheet and listen along with this. But it really is a good idea to help you identify, is this achievable? We do this with clients. We kind of call it a break-even analysis, if you will, and figure out hey, this is how much, you want to make personally, which is a big thing. And then kind of work the numbers backwards and figure out where we go from there. And that kind of leads into this next section here, just the overall vision for the year. The one place to start, as I just mentioned, is to figure out how much money you want to make in your company. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, I'm not in it for the money or just whatever I can make at the end. And I don't think that's the right mindset to have. I think if you can really think through and say, hey, if I can make, I'm just going to say a number, $6,000 a month that I take and put in my personal bank account out of my business, I'm very happy with that. That's enough to, provide for my family, save a little bit for retirement, save for vacations, and kind of, that's comfortable living for us. And then maybe you can sprinkle in some extra bonuses. When you know that number, then like I said, it's easy to work everything else backwards, right? Because then you need to make the $6,000 plus your $5,000 of fixed cost after you pay all your employees and your material costs and stuff.
To watch the full episode, download Overdrive, now available on the App Store and Google Play.